Hello and welcome back to another edition of Life After Kids with Dr. Brooke and Dr. Lynne. I'm Dr. Brooke.
And I'm Dr. Lynne.
And today we're talking about maybe the most important pillar of preventing the midlife crisis, which is purpose. And understanding yourself better so that you know what your purpose is. So tell them what we're talking about specifically.
So we're going to talk about a very helpful tool that actually helps give you language around what you're good at and what your unique gifts are. So I read a lot of personal development books. I follow a lot of people that throughout the years that have inspired me around personal development. And I know that you have too. Mm-hmm. And we've curated a lot of that information. But you know, one thing that's very common and that I hear all the time that frustrates me is that people will say, motivational speakers or whoever, coaches, they'll say, find out your strengths, play to your strengths, right? We hear that in companies, we hear that in individuals.
For sure.
And for years, I thought, okay, I'm trying to do that, but I don't know what those things are. And so nobody had really given me the tools, or I had not found those tools to actually go out and specifically say with certainty, with confidence, I know exactly what I'm good at. I know exactly what my gifts are, and I know my exact contribution in this world. And so we're going to talk about that tool today.
Yep. And what is the tool? Tell them. Don't leave them in suspense.
Yeah. The tool is called Clifton Strengths Finders. It's a tool that's rooted in about 50 years of research. Started with a psychologist, Don Clifton, in Omaha, Nebraska, my hometown, or near my own hometown. And it has developed through that period of time and is developed by the Gallup organization.
So I can just tell you one of the things, and this is all like Lynne is, first of all, Lynne is a certified Strengths Finders coach, which is awesome, and she has been for years. And this is your wheelhouse.
This is my sweet spot. Yes,
you are just so gifted in this realm.
Because of what it did for me personally, so
sure.
I love to help people find that
right.
as well.
And I see, because you've helped me and Lynne's worked with me, but I've also watched you in a room work in a group setting with other women, and you can just see the fire and passion because it's important to you and you're good at it and you're passionate about it. So it took me a while. She had some prodding in me to see like, oh, why is this so important? But, there's a story there that I'll get to in a second, but I want you to talk. The one thing that I want to say before you talk a little more, that I find so beautiful about Strength Finders is that we have, and you and I have talked about this, we have the tendency, and I think especially women, we have the tendency to want to focus on the things that we're not good at or the things that are weaknesses for us, and we want to highlight them and shine the spotlight on them and spend all of our time working to get better at those things. And Strength Finders, and when I talk to you, Strength Finders is beautiful because it says, that's not where we put our focus. We need to focus on find your strengths and then put the spotlight there and put the energy there and put your time into developing those strengths instead of running on this wheel of building up your weaknesses. Absolutely. Where you are likely, if you put your energy there, you're not going to be happy or fulfilled anyway. Yeah. So that for me was so freeing because it was like, okay, I don't have to be this other person and focus on the things I'm not good at because I'm not made that way. Here's my strengths, here's my wheelhouse, and what can I do to bring that out more?
I love that. That was really well said. And it's so true that when we find those things that we were uniquely gifted and hardwired, it comes naturally. We learn it quickly. We show some glimmers of excellence in that area. When we find those things and we nail them down and we spend time doing that, we have not just the best chance for success, we have exponential chance for success.
Yeah.
It's because we are in our zone of genius, so to speak.
And that's, sorry to interject, but not just from a career or job standpoint. This is like every success comes in all areas of life, right? So it makes you a better mother, a better human, a better wife, a better whatever those things are, because you see through the lens of, here are my strengths.
That is, I couldn't say that with more emphasis, that it's so true, that I'm a better wife, mother, all of those things. We have a particularly personal story about our daughter and learning her strengths. So there's different assessments for adolescents and for students and for college students. And very early on with her, we were seeing this issue around a sport. It wasn't life changing necessarily, but it was something our family was hitting up against. And it was creating tension, and it was a lack of us understanding and seeing her. And we helped her to be able to verbalize her thoughts and her feelings to us through those strengths that she learned around for herself. And I would say it gave her such a beautiful confidence. We fixed the issue, and we still talk about that story today, and it still positively impacts us knowing that information.
I've heard you say, we've talked about this, and it is amazing what it did for her and for you, like all the way around, which is great. And that's a key thing too, I think, with how it affects your relationships. And I not just yourself, but then what you bring to the table for other people and how that changes relationships between two people. So I'll just give you an example with Lynn, and this is probably pertinent for you guys too, because if you're like me, you're going, okay, it's a personality test and whatever, blah, 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 I don't care. And Lynn was on me for quite a while about this because she loves me and she's patient with me and will wait for me to get to where I need to get to on my own, even though the whole time she's like, okay, I've been there.
Just do it already.
Just do it. But she was prodding me, and I poo-pooed it, and I didn't want to do it. And one day, we back in the day before we got together more, we committed to getting together every Labor Day with our families. This was since we graduated from college. So we were together Labor Day weekend. Do you remember? I remember we were in my kitchen, and they were getting ready to go back, and I knew at that time we didn't see each other for another year. And you were like, listen, we talked about Strength Finders, and I know that you don't want to do this, and I know you think it's like blah blah whatever. But I bought you the book. The book is in the mail. I bought you a copy and I bought Ken a copy. It's in the mail. It's coming. If you don't want to do it for yourself, I totally understand. But just do it as a gift to me, because it will help me be a better friend to you, and it will help me to understand and know you better on a deeper level. And I was like, okay, I can get on board with that. Like, it's not about me if it's for you. And like, P.S., thank you for wanting to be a better friend to me. Like, okay, I'm in. So the book came a little bit later. I read the book, I took the test. And by the way, you don't have to read the book. Like, it doesn't have to be that complicated. But anyway, and it really, we will get into down the road, like how it's changed me and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, if she had not pushed me there and I had not done it because she gave me the lens of being able to understand me better and be a better friend, I probably wouldn't have done it. But then it changed me too. Like, it was just, it's been a really good, and we've had so many interesting conversations around it.
Yeah, because until you know yourself and who you want to become, and you can't know you can't become that person that you are trying to become. So it's so important to just loving who you are. And allowing other people to love you for what you do really well. And it helps to fast track relationships. It really does. And so that's what we're planning to bring to you more of, is that understanding around how you can use those tools and giving you a high level. You don't need to be a certified coach to understand and apply this information. That's the best thing about it.
Yeah, and I can also, and this might be a little off topic, but I also bring it back to myself, because I can get a little stuck in the weeds when it comes to like knowing yourself and self-development, because I want to see everything through how God made me and not how I want to make myself. Like, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or to you, but I love Strength Finders too, because I can connect my faith piece a little bit to that, because strength, I think it just helps you unravel and uncover who God or our Creator made me to be, and to be comfortable with that. It's just one of those tools to get to know yourself better through that lens. And so I really love that about it too, just throwing that piece out there. I would say, I don't know if you want to say anything about how, like, because now they're probably going, well, what do I do? Like, what Strength Finders, how I get there? What I would say is, and then I'll let you speak to it because you know far more, but definitely follow us on social media, because all this week we'll be putting more information out about it. And look at our stories, because we'll be dropping, there's, how many strengths are there?
34 strengths.
34 strengths. And so we'll be talking about each strength here and there, or talent, sorry. She knows far more than me. In our stories. And then, down the road, we're going to be putting some courses together for you guys on Strength Finders too, to help you understand yourself better. So all of that's coming. We wanted to have this conversation to open the discussion with you. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I would just say it's a really hopeful piece if you're feeling really lost in thinking about life after kids and thinking about what's next. It's the place to start. It's one of the places to start.
Yes.
I mean, it's for sure a big piece of that pillar of purpose, which is one of the 3 core pillars that make the most difference in discovering that.
Yeah, it's a great tool to use in the pillar of purpose. Yep. So it was great to see you all today.
We'll see you
Anything else
soon.
to add? Keep in touch. Talk to you soon.